I have not seen a case so open in my life, and the more of it I read and the more detail that I get into, I'm just shocked at how many lies were told.
Players in one of the ugliest Hollywood disputes in recent memory faced off in a New York City courtroom.
I believe that they are going to be able to prove in court that this was personal. Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni, all of the points to that.
As we're releasing more documents and text messages?
Soon.
Baldoni is going on the offensive. Just launched a website containing 168 pages of documents and text.
We're going to move as quickly as we possibly can and prove our innocence, where sometimes people judge you before they give you a chance.
That's Justin Baldoni's attorney, who just left the courthouse where Blake Lively was not given a gag order. The intensity of this saga has only increased. The legal teams for Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni had shown up for what many thought would be a regular pre-trial hearing. Rather, it became evident that this disagreement was anything but typical. A gag order was expected to pass with little opposition, but observers were taken aback when it was quickly rejected. The tension in the room immediately increased. Instead of playing defense, some conjectured that Blake's lawyers had come with a completely different strategy that would put them on the attack. The information that Blake's team had established a deadline was even more shocking. They planned to file a counterattack by Valentine's Day. The specifics of that were unknown, but the mere suggestion of a legal bombshell sparked a wave of rumors, each one more shocking than the previous. Reporters attempted to elicit additional information from both sides. There was a lot of pressure from powerful allies behind the scenes, according to some. Others murmured that Blake's attorney was secretly collecting statements in order to obtain sworn testimony from people who had not yet been identified in the official documents. In the meantime, Brian Fredman, Justin's lawyer, spoke briefly to the media and insisted that his client's innocence would be established eventually. Despite the tumultuous atmosphere, it was clear that each party was more concerned with influencing public opinion than with actually settling the issue.
Are you going to sue Blake Lively?
Into oblivion, Megan. Wait till you see this lawsuit. It's all going to be based on it. It's not going to be just a lawsuit. It's going to be the kind of lawsuit that is full of evidence, missions, documents, which prove exactly what she did and how she bullied her way through the process to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy Justin. There's a number of different defendants here. Stephanie Jones will be all over this complaint. That is the PR agent who was supposed to be working for Justin Baldoni. Leslie Sloan, who's another PR agent who will be part of this lawsuit. That was Blake Lively's. Blake Lively will be sued, and we're carefully considering other people that will be sued also. Ryan Reynolds, for sure.
It was unclear if this tactic would benefit or harm them, but there was no denying the drama that captured everyone's interest. There was a lot of conjecture about how deep this conflict could go and who else it could trap. One thing was evident at the end of the hearing. This legal dispute was only getting started, and its ramifications might go well beyond the confines of the courthouse, but it was merely the first crack in a story that was developing and appeared poised to explode. What truly grabbed everyone's attention were some caustic comments that seemed to be made against persons who were once referred to as trustworthy allies. One thread in particular demonstrated how a cordial discussion about changes to the screenplay swiftly descended into accusations and discussion of covert sabotage. Although the parties had previously put on a united front, these documents indicated that the fissures may have developed long ago. It was unclear to onlookers if this was a sincere attempt to clear Justin's name or a planned attempt to disparage other players. In any case, it made readers of the narrative question how much of Hollywood's glitzy facade was merely a calculated stunt. Finally, a mysterious remark in the site's footer hinted that more uploads, possibly much more damning, would be made public in the upcoming weeks. Every move was painstakingly prepared to surprise opponents, making the whole situation feel like a high-stakes game of chess. However, Ryan Reynolds' shocking change of heart had not yet been reported to those who believed the timeline was the biggest shocker. In the past, Ryan was perceived as Justin's associate and partner. Early on in their romance, the two were frequently seen smiling at one another in interviews while attending charity functions, fundraisers, and behind-the-scenes activities. Ryan once praised Justin's commitment to every project he worked on, calling him a superb partner. Given the sincere smiles they shared in public, that laudatory evaluation at the time seemed sincere. However, when private messages from a few months later were discovered, the facade broke. Ryan apparently went so far as to refer to Justin as a deranged predator in these texts. It was a radical change from Ryan's previous tone, shocking supporters who believed the two men respected each other. People inquired, what changed right away? Was Ryan forced to change his viewpoint, or did he learn anything new? The latter stages of production were marred by rumors that ranged from personal conflicts over creative control to allegations. Some conspiracy-minded bystanders even asserted that these abrupt reversals were a part of a clever plan, possibly planned by a competing group trying to sow discord between well-known figures. During the legal tumult, Blake showed herself to be extremely protective of her closest friends, especially Taylor Swift, as well as of her own reputation. According to reports, Blake was requesting a special protective order to keep third parties out of the Discovery dragnet. This action suggested that prominent figures who may have texted, emailed, or otherwise disclosed private information could be drawn into the impending legal battle. The public's curiosity naturally skyrocketed as soon as Taylor Swift entered the discussion. Viewers of celebrities were curious as to if the pop star had unknowingly become involved in this drama. It was evident that Blake was willing to battle to the death in court, particularly if it meant protecting her inner circle from unwelcome attention. Many questioned whether this protective action would be sufficient, given the intensity of the argument, or if it would only indicate a willingness to escalate further. It seemed as though a fuse had been lit, and the spark was getting closer to a powder keg for those who were following the day-by-day discoveries. Soon after, a detail regarding the intimacy coordinator highlighted the potential depth of these problems. Although it may seem like a behind-the-scenes formality, having an intimacy coordinator on site frequently means that delicate situations are filmed with extra sensitivity. Although this position is intended to safeguard performers and uphold a secure atmosphere, there are allegations that it may also turn into a hotspot for arguments over creative direction, individual boundaries, and accountability in the event of an incident. According to reports, the organizer in this instance called an important meeting that a large number of the cast attended in order to talk about potential problems and make sure everyone was at ease. But Blake was noticeably missing. Some dismissed her absence as a matter of personal taste or schedule issues. This prompted speculation that certain unsaid issues, possibly uncomfortable interactions or brewing grudges, were central to the whole situation. These hush-hush moments were cited by the production's critics as proof that there may be more serious issues hiding beneath the glossy exterior of Hollywood public relations pronouncements. Blake's supporters countered that she didn't require a refresher course because she was already familiar with on-set procedures. By this point, the discussion had grown into a multi-layered drama that involved not just the celebrities, but even the less well-known crew members who were being questioned about everything from the length of each private meeting to the terms of their NDAs.